What's up, guys? Back for another Honkai Star Rail video. In this video, we're going to go over the best teams you can use for the newest Pure Fiction. Now, do note that this new Pure Fiction has some new mechanics. We have a new grip mode. This grip mode can be obtained by getting the max amount of grip points. You get grip points from the passive, the skill attack, which says after allies use a skill to attack enemy targets, every enemy target hit additionally accumulates 5 grip value for allies. And then when you achieve the grit at 100, upon entering Surging Grit, advances all allies' actions by 100% and increases damage received by enemy targets during this period by 50%. Additionally, after an ally uses their skill to attack an enemy target, deals an additional set amount of damage, to all attacked enemy targets and adjacent targets. Pretty much, you get a good damage buff, right? So keep that in mind as well. This should make it somewhat easier for Pure Fiction, right? Depending on how much they decide to power creep everything and make it super hard. But overall, we're going to go over the overall good characters that are going to be good in both sides, or just overall in general in Pure Fiction. And then we'll go over the characters that are going to be good for each of the sides. And then we're going to go to the can work, but might need a little bit of help, or there's just better options, right? First things first, we gotta get the sustains. So Adventuring, Linxia, Fushuan, Huohuo, Gallagher. I mean, not much else to say, right? Adventuring is going to be good for follow-up attack stuff, right? Because there's a follow-up attack buff, there's a skill use buff, and there's a break buff, right? I mean, the break characters, Fushuan gives crit rate and has an AoE ultimate, right? They aren't weak to Quantum, but she still is going to be, a solid. She's pretty much the lowest of the ones. I was debating on putting her to can work, but, she has crit rate. I'll put her on overall good, right? Then we have the supports, which there's going to be a lot of them. Robin is the best one, followed very, very closely by Roan Mei. We have the new Ting Yun is going to be really good for Super Break, and of course Harmony MC is also good. We also have Sunday's going to be really good for this. Jiao Q is going to be really good for this. Sparkle is also going to be good for this. I was debating on putting her on can work just because her action advance is at 100, but I will put her on overall good just because you are spamming skill points, right? Another good character is going to be Pela. Pela is really, really good, especially on the side that is weak to ice, but she's overall good enough to just be put on overall good, right? Then we have our DPSs that are just going to work regardless, right? Those being Acheron, Rappa, Jade, Firefly, and Argenti. Now, some of these characters are going to perform a little bit worse depending on what the enemy typing is, right? But they have pretty much like universal damage, which like Acheron ignores enemy's toughness, Firefly implants fire, Rappa ignores enemy toughness, and then Jade and Argenti are just pure fiction beasts, right? So they're going to be in overall good. Normally I'd have them set for fight 1 or fight 2, but I think I'm just going to put them in overall good just because they're overall good. They deserve to be there, right? Now let's jump into the fights, right? Now the first fight is against Jeopard, and the second fight is against the Abundance Deer. The best characters to be using besides ones in the overall good, right? Obviously characters like, if you're going to be running the break team like Firefly, Ice and Fire would probably be the better one to run them on, just so Firefly doesn't have to implant fire weakness, but you could run Firefly on this one, right? But overall characters who just want to be run on the first one, Donheng is going to be really good as long as you have Sparkle or Sunday to manage skill points, right? Obviously Sunday, including the fact that you have his Light Cone. Serval is going to be pretty good for this one. Jin Yun is going to be extremely good with Sunday on this one, right? And for the second fight, no shocker here, Himiko and Herda are going to absolutely decimate this one as well. And a shout out to Asta, who will also be pretty solid on this one, just because enemy is weak to fire, so her skill will help out a ton. And then she can also, if you put DDD on her, she has the speed and action advance, and he's giving attack. A good unit. She has a lot of fierce competition up here, and she's not, not up to par with them to be put up here. But since the enemy is weak to fire, I might as well slide her here, right? Then next up is going to be the characters that are overall good but might need a little bit of help, or can, is gonna struggle a little bit more than the other characters. These characters are gonna be Yun Li. Yun Li is we'll have to see. I'm gonna test Yunli myself, but I have a feeling she might actually be up higher. But we'll have to see how frequently they attack and mess around with the buffs a little bit. But Yunli, Kafka is not really gonna have too much of a team because Black Swan is wind, and there's not a lot of wind weakness happening here. But Kafka, AoE ult skill is pretty good as well, and she can cook with Dot. Dot it kind of got removed from the buff, but I mean, hey, Dot can still cook. There's a skill one that does more damage. This one might be mad cope, but I still think Kafka can cook. Fei Zhao is on can work because I still want to test how this works. They changed Purification to where you can actually damage the boss in the middle, and if you kill the side adds, it'll do damage to the boss as well. So I'm curious on if Fei Zhao can cook fast enough to kill the boss. We'll have to see, but if it works how I think it does, she will be actually pretty good for the bosses for Purification. Then we have March as well. March is going to be pretty solid. She can be a break support or just a crit damage support. She is single target though, but same reasoning as Fei Zhao. Obviously a lot less damage on March's end, so we'll have to see if she is going to be as good as I think she will be, right? This is why she's in can work. They can work, but they also might not work, right? The other one is Bronya, just for SP issues. Luocha is also a solid one, but he's not really benefiting the team too much. And then we'll put Ting Yun here, because Ting Yun is just a really good support, depending on who you're giving energy to. I could probably put her in overall good, but I'll just put her at can work, just because I can, right? Now, the other characters, you can probably get some dubs with it. I'll have to see how, like, honorable mentions. Let's just put honorable honorable mentions, right? These are characters that definitely are going to have to see a little bit of testing before I say they can work. Zele is going to be one of them. Boot Hill is going to be one of them. I'm going to assume Herda is going to be broken, right, for Purification, but obviously she's not even remotely close to coming out yet. Ratio might be good. I don't know. I don't think Jinglu or Blade are going to cook on this one, unfortunately, right? I'll want to see how good their single target damage is going to be. Resurgence could go crazy on this Purification because of the new way they're doing it, but like I said, we're going to have to see. Overall, pretty much just want to be using all these characters up here. These are the ones that are going to be the best. What I recommend is just grabbing, if you have Jingen and Sunday for the first half, and then for the second half from like Break or Himiko Herda, that one is going to be absolutely crazy. I will probably have a budget team video going up in the next couple of days if I can clear it, which I think we can, because Himiko and Herda on one side are pretty much not guaranteed to get us 40k, but if they can get us 40k, that means the first team can struggle a bit, and I can run like Serval or something and just get a little bit of points and then call it a day, and we'll get the 60k. But other than that, that's going to be it for the video. Let me know in the comments what teams you guys use. Do you think this Purification is easier or harder than it was before? Do you think the buffs actually help you a lot now? Do you think the grit is a good mechanic? Do you like the changes? I was going to say buffs, but I guess we'll just say changes. The changes to the bosses where they can be damaged a lot easier now, and they take a lot of damage from destroying the side adds. Let me know in the comments, and of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all in the next Honkai Star Rail video.